Hey guys, I'm Fez. Yep. Now, if you're anyone who's anyone, you probably already know by now that education sucks. It's for nerds. Video games rule and school drools. I mean, it's basic mathematics. I would know. I passed calculus with really good grades. But as a college student and a gamer, I've always wondered if the two could ever work together somehow. Since the beginning of time, people have known that school sucks. So once video games came around, many people tried to use them as a way to keep students' attention. And with attention spans getting shorter and shorter every day with social media, keeping education engaging is incredibly important. So why not use the top video game character of all time? He'll spice things up. So that's my goal today. I'm gonna figure out exactly how much more fun education is with video games than just with college alone. Sonic better be up to the task. As the greatest video game character of all time, it's only natural that Sega would want to capitalize on this. It's a no-brainer. Kids need something to grab their attention, and parents don't care what they buy. It's a market just waiting to be exploited. So Sega wasted no time. Right in 1991, the same year the first Sonic game came out, and the same year the Soviet Union collapsed, they were already developing their first Sonic educational game, Sonic's Edusoft. Unreleased, but it was developed in 1991. This game went years without the public ever knowing anything about it. That is, until 2008, when the developer finally published the ROM file. The ROM only works on certain emulators, and I couldn't get it to work for the life of me. However, there is a website called Internet Archive that lets you play it. The link's in the description. You only have certain options to choose from at the start. For example, these gates refuse to open, and this helicopter won't fly yet. You go from level to level here, spelling words, doing basic math, or choosing when two letters match. Very difficult stuff for a college student. As you go through, you finally unlock multiplication and division. You also get themed spelling bees, like spelling out food or animals, or hell, even sports themes. As you go, you race one of these guys. Now, I felt pretty bad this guy kept losing, so eventually I decided to throw him a bone or two. Yeah, that's definitely the only reason I messed up. You go through multiple different islands that all have the same basic challenges on them. Besides that, there are 3 minigames you get to play. Now, they're pretty basic, and one of them is broke as all hell. However, the last minigame you get to play isn't too bad. It's actually sort of like Sonic Dash. I mean, this feels like a basic mobile game. You just have to time your jumps to make sure you're not hitting anything. Although the sprites are a bit wonky. Jesus, what the hell's happening? And that's the entirety of Sonic's Edusoft. Tough academics, I know. But is it better than college? I mean, can a college student be satisfied with this education? Does he look unsatisfied to you? But that was only my first semester here at Sonic College, and I still have so much left to go. And I only just barely passed. But my professor does say I have great potential. Isn't that right, Professor? Oh, thanks, Professor. He's a real good guy, you know. Now, I actually heard the next semester's coming up pretty fast. I'd better go buy my textbooks. Yeah, that'll do it. The Sega Pico. Sega's own educational console that the world definitely needed. It has the same software as the Genesis and the general shape of a laptop. It allows you to plug a cartridge in and turn the pages. Now, as the pages turn, the game changes with it. It adds a little bit of an interactivity. It has sensors that tell the system exactly which page you're on. There's also a set of buttons and a trackpad with a pen. Now, the trackpad on mine is a little broken, with the middle section just straight up not working. But damn it all, I am still gonna figure out how to play this shit. The Sega Pico mostly failed in North America, with only 400,000 units sold. I Yes, children aren't as lucrative of a market as we thought. While the Sega Pico's performance in the market wasn't anything amazing, people did praise its literal performance. I mean, the Sega Pico won awards from the National Association of Parenting Publication Awards. A console with potential and Sonic games? Sign me up! Sonic the Hedgehog's Game World. Releasing in August of 1994, this is the first Sonic game released for the Sega Pico. The game starts you off with this little title screen. The 3 playable characters in this are Sonic, Tails, and Amy. I went with Amy for most of my playthrough. Gotta keep things fresh around here, I don't usually play as Amy. Really feels like Knuckles might have been a good 4th choice. But hey, forget him. That other video had way too much Knuckles in it. After you select your character, the game lets you completely run free. You're allowed to flip through the pages and select whatever game you want to play. Now, I do wish the game had told me sooner that you have to press down on the book to decide which game you want to play. I was scratching my head trying to figure out how to get anything to start. And how does the game even know which minigames are being pressed? How was I supposed to know? The minigames are pretty basic. Sometimes it's Eggman switching an egg and you have to decide where the flicky is. And sometimes it's pressing a button as fast as you can to win a race. You can play these minigames as much as you want, which was helpful with how much I failed. There is also a hard mode, which makes this game so much harder. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, nothing to it. My trackpad is completely broken in the middle. It made the concentration game completely impossible. The whole middle row is impossible to access, but everything else was very doable. The last minigame is the Diamond Maze, where you try to beat Eggman and searching for Chaos Emeralds inside of each obstacle. Once you beat this, the game just restarts. At the end of the book, you get to a coloring page. Now, I can hardly play it because of my trackpad, so I'll just stick to Microsoft Paint. The Japanese release of Sonic's Game World has an extra page, and extra games, like gambling. So, come on, they gave kids a roulette wheel? Might as well just give them GTA 5. Now that whole page was removed from the US release. I'm pretty sure this is just Sega's way of making sure I have to buy 2 copies. And they did this years before I was born. The Sonic vs. Robotnik game is basically gambling anyway. It's entirely luck-based. Oh, and tapping on this blimp sends you directly to the credits. Completely unskippable. I wonder how many kids got trapped in the credits on accident. It is a pretty fun game. Now, sure, Mario Party will probably get you more mileage, look better, can be played with a group, make you look cooler, and cost less these days. But this game is Sonic. And this one has Tails. Wait, doesn't the other one have Tails? Tails and the Music Maker, releasing in September of 1994. This game fucking sucks. Yeah, Sonic's Game World was decent, I guess. But Tails and the Music Maker? None of this should have been released. The game starts you off just staring at Tails. Jeez, the last game at least had options. After staring at Tails for what seemed like minutes on end, waiting for something to happen, I finally went ahead and flipped the damn page. You're transported to Green Hill Zone, and it looks exactly like the Green Hill Zone from the regular games. You're able to walk around and fly, although flying actually serves no purpose here. If you click on the frogs, you're sent straight into Leapfrog. Here you're just running away from the orange lily pad. The goal is to be the last one standing. And over here there's also this walking minigame. It's super simple. You either walk, run, or jump, depending on where you want to go. Is it fun? No, not really. But honestly, it's one of the best minigames here. But Leapfrog is definitely better. Most of these minigames are dumb. Like, choose what instrument is making the sound. Or go play the piano. Or just go play Sonic's Game World instead. And this pinball game was the worst. I honestly wasn't sure when it would end. Every single time I finished, there was a new pinball machine. Eventually I gave up on all that, and kept turning the pages until I found out Sonic has green arms. They predicted movie Sonic. Yeah, this game fucking blows. I mean, I understand it's a kid's game, but the other ones were so much better. Sonic's Game World has so much more enjoyment than Tales of the Music Maker. And Sonic's edusoft Well, it's better than Tails the Music Maker. Well, I'm almost to my degree. And I even heard him on the D's list. My mother might actually be proud of me for once. Who knew college would be this easy? But it's not exactly engaging. I mean, if this is how it's gonna be, screw it, I'm dropping out. I'm sure Professor can tutor me everything I need to know. Isn't that right, Professor? Exactly. I am 100% sure Sonic Schoolhouse can teach me everything I need to know. Well, it's not like I have to drop out of college yet. Sonic Schoolhouse, released in October of 1996, exclusively for Windows PC, is definitely a video game. Sega Entertainment Director cited this game as being like Doom for kids. And here I am actually playing it. Sonic Schoolhouse starts off on this menu page. Now, here you're able to select your character, among other things.
Alright, I just want to show you guys what's going on here. I can get video recorded, but recording the audio is impossible right now, based on how I'm doing this. I'm going about this a bit of a roundabout way. Everything in this video is done in a really roundabout way, and I really don't like it. But I'm not even recording this on like a good mic. This is just my phone mic. But I want you guys to see what's going on here. So the audio of this game is incredible. I'm gonna turn this up right quick and just listen to this.
Click on the character you want to be, then hit the green traffic light.
Okay, so let's click on a character. Let's click on this crocodile. Go back to the default elephant. Click on this guy. He looks like he knows what's going on. Yeah, the sounds of this game are just wonderful. And their eyes, look at this guy. This is the creepiest. No, actually, this monkey looks even worse. Good God. Alright, I don't know which one's worse, the rabbit or the monkey. Anyway, I just wanted you guys to see how weird the sounds are in this game. Go back to the elephant. Oh, God. Oh, now it looks like everything's a little broken. Okay.
Once you pick go, you're greeted with the schoolhouse. Go ahead and pick a door and get ready? This just sounds so predatory. We're at a schoolhouse. Of these, there are 2 math doors, 1 reading door, and 1 letters door. Now, when I say math, I mean literally just picking numbers. Reading is the most educational that it gets here, because you actually have to, read these boards. Once you finally beat everything, Sonic gives you a very loud congratulations. There's nothing to this. The boards will give you a list of letters and numbers, but just missing 1. You have to go pick the letter or number it's missing and bring it back to the board. It's almost like a headhunter. If you head outside the schoolhouse in the back, you have 2 little games. One where you collect 5 rings, and the other where you match statues together. In front of the schoolhouse, there's a school bus. This happened when I got on. Nice! This is only my education and my future. This is completely and totally fine. So I went ahead and found screenshots of what this is supposed to be. It's just a bunch of random animal facts. Riveting. And that's really about it for Sonic Schoolhouse. Now, did I learn anything here? Yeah, I learned Sonic Schoolhouse is full of predators. It is a really unique game, in that I don't really understand why it exists. But hey, that's what makes all this interesting, right? As interesting as listening to that damn elephant can be. Sonic went years without another educational game, which is probably for a pretty good reason. Finally, 11 years later, in early 2007, they released their next Sonic educational game for the Leapfrog Leapster. Of course I bought one. Sonic X. No, I'm not naming the show or the category of Sonic merch. That's just the name of the game. The game starts us off listening to Chris as he yaps off. We learn that Eggman has completely taken over with his math robots. That's definitely something he would do. I guess Eggman steals Tails, Knuckles, and Amy. But why would he stop there? Just capture Sonic. Then his math robots would be unstoppable. Sonic heads on to Station Square, which is where we find out that this game's physics are not the best. He just moves so damn slow. I have no clue why I can't just jump over 2 boxes at the same time. It looks like I should be able to. In order to get past each math robot, you have to solve math problems. Now, these are usually just what number comes first, or even what number comes next. There are also 3 bonus stages in each zone. In one, you just put numbers together. In another, you circle math robots until you have the correct number. Or in 3, you destroy them until you have the number it gives you. Each stage has 99 rings, and if you collect them all, you'll get a Chaos Emerald at the end. Collecting all the Chaos Emeralds gets you the super special secret ending. And was this worth anyone's time? There are 3 zones in this game: Station Square, Angel Island, and Eggman's Base. And all of these come with 3 acts. Each level is practically identical, although Eggman's Base might have slightly better level design than the other 2. Honestly, it's pretty hard to tell. And that's the entire game, summarized in like 2 minutes. Yet it took me about an hour and a half just to get through it. These levels are stupidly long. Playing this was an absolute nightmare. If this is what college is like, I want no part of this. I thought college was supposed to be fun. Like, with study groups that had girls, and study groups with girls in them, and yet all I got are poorly presented math problems. Is it really time to drop out of Sonic school? I mean, I already dropped out of college. How am I supposed to look my mother in the eye and tell her about all this?
Didj. Sonic the Hedgehog teaches spelling for 2nd through 4th grades.
Now I don't have to. She'll finally be proud of me. Sonic for the Didj, released July 7, 2008, is a godsend after the rest of the shit I've had to play. But before I take a look at the game, go ahead and take a look at the art design and the music. Everything is Sonic Adventure artwork, but the logo during startup is from Sonic 06. Yet the actual game has Sonic 3 sprites and music. This has bootleg written all over it. And yet it's official. Everything, down to the last detail, is copied from somewhere else. The end screen on each level looks like it's from Sonic 1. And weirdly enough, Sonic's color palette is from Sonic Spinball. No matter what level you're in, when you pick up the speed shoes, for whatever reason, it plays Mushroom Hill music from Sonic 3. This is just such a weird game. The first Leapfrog Sonic game was all about math. So naturally, this one is all about spelling. This game has 3 bonus levels. 1 where you shoot Sonic out of a cannon at the correct letters to finish a word. 2, you run on this screw with letters on it. Or 3, you break open letters out of these item boxes. Luckily, many of these are not mandatory, so I was able to skip plenty of them. And believe me, I skipped as many as I could. These minigames win you prizes for Didj, an online service that doesn't exist anymore. So at this point, just try to beat the level as soon as possible. And as for the actual levels, they're not bad. I mean, for the first time in this video, the levels aren't far off from an actual Sonic game. They have enemies, rings, lives, and even death. It has boss fights. I mean, everything is here. Well, most of it's here. There's only 3 power-ups. And you also always have the fear that you'll run into another minigame that you can't skip. The levels here are Green Hill, Emerald Hill, Sandopolis, Hydropolis, Scrap Brain, Chemical Plant, and Egg Base. And Egg Base is just the boss fight with the Death Egg. All of the bosses are easy. One of them, I was even able to bring invincibility with me. The level design is actually pretty decent here. Yeah, like, it's not an actual Sonic game level quality, but I was pretty satisfied. You collect Chaos Emeralds, but I can't for the life of me figure out what they actually do here. My only real complaint with this game is that Sonic controls like shit. He's so slippery, he moves when you don't want him to, and goes fast all of the time. Yeah, okay, I know going fast is Sonic's whole shtick, but not when I don't want him to. Also, this happened during one of the bonus stages. Kinda weird. This game is the best Sonic game that is also an educational game. I mean, it's an actual game, but in terms of being an actual educational game, it's not great. The fact that I can skip the only educational portions in the game, and that I'm incentivized to do so because the rest of the game is so much better, makes it feel like the educational portion was just an afterthought. Sonic's Game World and Sonic X for Leapster are the best put together games on this list, and the Game World is way more fun than Sonic X for Leapster. Okay, that's every single semester out of the way. I should be receiving my diploma pretty soon, actually. Thanks, Professor. You've given me so much throughout my time here at Sonic College. Oh, he's such a card. I just can't believe that this is finally happening. I mean, after everything I've been through, my diploma's finally here. Oh my god, this is better than anything I could have ever imagined. Sonic educational games are better than college. I knew it. Why spend thousands upon thousands of dollars on a piece of paper when you could buy a Sega Pico? Just don't buy Tales in the Music Maker.